You're listening to Brigade Radio 1.
Welcome to the Antisocial Show.
They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. They're coming to get you.
Your hosts, Underblock and Tyson Sater.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Antisocial Show, a show where we like the Spookies and the Spookies. My name is Hunter Block, and he's
Tyson Sater.
So, Tyson, you're probably going to have to refresh my memory here, but Tyson, I think it was on Tuesday night, informed me that our cult following, so to speak, as I'm calling them, the anti-socialites, in Columbus, Ohio. Somebody downloaded or listened to 60 episodes separate.
We had a listening spike on SoundCloud.
So, yeah, that's really cool. So,
yeah, absolutely.
I just really need to know who these people or this person or persons are, because I'm really curious.
I'm pretty curious myself.
You know, is it like, I think I mentioned this also in the last episode too. You have to forgive me. It's been a very long day. So for anyone out there listening now, it is, what time is it?
It's almost 10 o'clock p.m. here, so it means it's got to be almost like 1 o'clock there.
Yes, it is Monday, August 23rd, in real time, and we did an episode last weekend, which was pretty cool because we went from talking about Halloween thingies to alcoholic beverages. We talked about all the alcohols. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to have you ever have you ever had a White Russian?
I think so. It's Kahlua, cream, anything else in there?
I don't think there's vodka in there. No, probably not.
Not sure.
I'm not really sure.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I think the dude was drinking it with milk, I think, or maybe cream. Hey Google, what are the ingredients of a White Russian?
1 2/3 ounces, 5 parts vodka, 1 ounce, 3 parts fresh cream and 2/3 of an ounce, 2 parts coffee liqueur.
Yeah, so it does have vodka. It's vodka, fresh cream, and coffee liqueur. It says it doesn't, because Kahlua, I believe, is a brand, so it's not saying specifically.
Now, Tyson's Google is very much normal, where I think my Google is, excuse my French, but messing with me. Mm-hmm. As I was telling Tyson last night, I was in a political feed on Facebook, on one of those political pages, and the part of my comment, I wanted to add the word impudent, and I went to Google and I said, "Hey Google, give me I put impudent." And normally when you say a word, it just takes you to the spelling and the definition of it, whether you want the definition of it or not. Mm-hmm. But before it took me there, it said, yes. And I specifically heard this, and I haven't really tried to replicate what happened last night, but it was definitely weird. So, of course, I texted Tyson right away, and I'm like, dude, you'll never guess what Google just did.
Right.
And, it's kind of like, dude, I swear to God I heard it. It was the weirdest thing because it's never done that before. Okay. Like, it never just said, yes. So it was, and it, it was just weird.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yes, impudent.
Impudent. So, are you talking, did you mean impudent or did you mean impotent?
Impotent. Like you can't get it up.
Okay.
And that's why I said, yes. Nah, dude, it was like my mouth just dropped. It's like the weirdest friggin' thing ever.
Yeah, yes is a bit of a, interesting, yeah, that's kind of, I don't know what to call it. It's like humanizing, I guess. It's like when the battle droids in Phantom Menace go,
yes.
Yeah. They don't do it very often, but you hear one of, like when he does the, you're under arrest. Like they're like, oh, wait a minute. And they go, wait a minute. So the is very,
You're under arrest. Yes, I remember that. That's actually the funny because it almost seemed like the droid was like an actual living person, which the droids on Star Wars seem to not be living people, but seem to be somewhat like sentient beings, so to speak. Definitely, obviously, more evolved than anything more high tech than we have. But
yeah, I mean, I would imagine them rather to be somewhat less elaborate emotionally, or quote unquote emotionally, than your average 3PO unit.
yes,
It's just the protocol droid, one that's programmed to be polite or I guess obsequious.
yes. But yeah, it was really strange to have my phone say yes. So you can't get it up, can you?
Yeah, strange.
I would have just chucked my phone out the door at that point. Be like, see ya. Say goodbye to everybody first. Like I will be not having a phone for the next couple of days because my phone's doing some weird things and it's making phrases that it shouldn't be making.
Yes.
Yes.
That's strange. And mine hasn't started saying yes yet, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of update. Is this it is your Google Assistant?
Yeah. Well,
on your phone?
It's just basically just regular Google, like the Google app itself.
You mean like just your search bubble? Like it's not voice active. Is it a voice thing?
Yeah. So you have so you go to Google.
Yeah.
Hold on. You go to the the Google app, and then it has the microphone, and then I just tap the microphone, and I just say like for example, the Mets. And normally it talks, so it's not saying nothing now.
But if you just say the Mets, you don't even ask it a question. Oh, it'll look up the Mets for you theoretically.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Ford Motor Company.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it doesn't do that. All right, hold
on.
Okay. Give me the spelling of Abraham Lincoln.
Spelled ABRAHAMLINCOLN.
But see, that's all it's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not supposed to say yes and then give me the spelling and definition of a word. It's just supposed to just give me the spelling and the definition most usually. So
to be clear, the word that it was looking up was it doing impudence because you're trying to do impotent, but that's what it was looking up instead, or was it looking up impotent when it was actually looking up impotent when it said yes?
It said yes first and then looked up impudent. Because that's the word I was looking for.
Impudent or impotent?
Impotent.
Yeah, because these are different words. Right. Impudent, being impudent is like being rude, or it's like out of place, like stepping out of line in a way.
Not that word.
No,
the other one.
So impotent.
Yes, Yeah, I'm just saying it wrong. It's
right, but you also typed it to me as impudent as well, and I wasn't sure if you.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't sure what you meant, so that's why I had to clarify here. So it's like I was. So at the time when it said this, it knew you wanted the word impotent.
Yes.
Okay. So
I think I was saying it right at that point.
Okay.
But obviously I wasn't spelling it right when I was relaying the information to you via text.
Gotcha.
Because it was late at night and it was still very shocking towards me.
Maybe it's programmed to be like delicate about certain trigger words, certain conditions, certain things, like, you know what I mean? Like if you look, like what happens if you look up anal cancer? I mean, it's probably going to be like, oh, yes, let me look at that for you, or something, or maybe it'll be like, I have that right here, and then it'll point to Google's anus. No, not right here, right here. I have the information right here.
Anal cancer. Anal cancer, symptoms and causes, Mayo Clinic. The anal cancer is an uncommon type of cancer that occurs in the anal canal. The anal canal, yes, thank you. The anal canal is a short tube at the end of your rectum, through which, your rectum, through which stool leaves your body.
Definitely do, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, how funny is it that the word canal has the word anal in it, and yet it's pronounced canal? And so when you put them right next to each other, it's not anal canal, and it's not anal canal, it's anal canal.
It's anal canal.
Yeah, because you have to, even though it's exactly the same spelling other than that. Isn't English wonderful?
Yes. Well, English in and of itself is a bastardized
it's a composite
that's
language.
made up of, it's made up of everything else.
That's true. That's why things like that happen. That's why there's so many different pronunciations for O-U-G-H.
Yes. Or the word color, for example, because we spell it differently from people that, speak English in the UK, for example. They don't spell color C-O-L-O-R.
That's true, but
There's a U in
they
it.
say it the same way, though.
Yes, they do.
I think they do that in Canada as well. I think they also use the U. I think that's what Kevin Smith he always jokes that. He'll use a word that's spelled slightly differently and then clarify that he's saying it with the U in it rather than normal. Like when he's doing a Canadian character.
Yeah, see?
Mm-hmm.
But it's spelled. I mean, it's the way we spell it is the way it's supposed to be spelled. Get the U out. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. It is a composited language of just bastardization of everything else. Latin.
It's got some French, some German. It's got
French,
it's
German,
got loan words. Loan words, yeah. Then there are words that are Latin derived and they're just in the common parlance. I think parlance might be French. I'm not sure, or maybe it's derived from a word like parlay. I don't know. I like
parlay.
Like in Pirates of the Caribbean when they're like parlay,
yes.
parlay. At any rate, parlay and parlance, both of those involve speech. So I'm guessing the term par has to do with speech. So perhaps even partake, something to do with, but then again, that doesn't always work. That doesn't always work because of the way English, works. Like one can guess based on Latin that there are certain words that definitely are related to each other, but then you can't always do that. So,
but then there's people that can't even speak the English language.
Sure,
who've been taught the English. Yeah, who've been taught the English language. So it's you know what I mean.
Oh well, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm one of them. I have trouble with it.
I have trouble pronouncing certain words, but overall with the English language, I don't have too much problems with the language itself. It's just, like I said, certain words I can't pronounce properly, so maybe it's a speech impediment. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I used to say that when I was kind of an angsty teenager, I used to joke that I spoke anguish. That's true. I know that's hard for people to, when they're seeing this, if they ever do see this, that the expression on my face didn't change, but that is actually true. Or I coined the term the anguish language, and to me it was the language of teenagers.
Anguish language.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least it's the language. Now, see, that clarifies a lot. So at least it's the language of teenagers and not the language from, let's say, if you're from America.
Right.
Because apparently America and Murica are two different countries.
Oh, Murica, yeah. M-U-R-I-C-A.
Yes,
Murica.
Murica. I'm from Murica, damn it.
Yeah, there was this comedian on QI. I can't remember his name. It might have been Hugh something. I cannot remember, but it was jokes that he looked kind of like Tony Blair, former Prime Minister Tony Blair. Anyway, they talked a bit about language, and they talked about George W. Bush, speaking of, Murica, the idea of this, and they say, and he uses that odd word, merkin. Merkin, M-E-R-K-E-N, I believe, and a merkin it's a pubic wig, basically. But so he says, merkin, and people would say, like, I'm proud to be a merkin.
Proud to be a merkin.
Proud to be a merkin. Yeah.
Merkin. I'm proud to be an American.
Because at least I cover my pubis.
Yes. So, I was watching a movie back 2 nights ago. It's actually a movie I've been trying to finish for the past 2 weeks now.
Okay.
I used to own it on VHS, and right now, currently, it is available on Amazon Prime and YouTube. And the movie is called Spookies.
Spookies. I think I've heard of that.
Yes. So it's a little campy, but essentially it's about a bunch of people that are just driving around in the beginning of the movie, nonsensical, because they're looking for a place to party because the one dude got them thrown out of a party, and they come across this mansion, and this mansion literally got everything from giant women who turn into spiders, so giant women who turn into giant spiders. It's got zombies, ghosts, monsters. It's got a dead sorcerer who refuses to die. A cat-like person that has a hook like a pirate. Yes.
It has a cat-like person that has a hook like a pirate? Sorry.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, exactly right.
That's interesting. I wonder if that's a Pirates of Penzance reference. Sorry, go ahead.
Could be. And he wears like spurs on his cowboy boots and stuff like that, and he kind of has like a limp, but yet when it's time to run, he can run real well, but when he's walking, he can't walk so well, and he sounds like... That's how he sounds. Anyway, the point though is that we've been talking about this Halloween episode now, and I don't want to visit a mansion that's like that because I want to live. And I think the funniest part about this movie is when they're all partying inside. I don't know. I don't want to say it's the living room. It's some room. They're partying in some room, and they go to open the closet or a closet, and this dead man falls out. Right, so. One of the dudes starts to laugh, and his girlfriend's like, well, what are you laughing about? It's a dead man. And he's like, that thing ain't real. That ain't no dead man. Touch it. And, I mean, obviously in the movie it was very much a dead man and had like a Ouija board attached to him and all that stuff. And so I don't want to do that.
Well,
because because I want to live.
Sounds interesting. I mean,
it really is.
I mean, you had me at woman turning into giant spider.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That is definitely the second funniest part of the movie. So, I want to say that the dude that's like the doofiest of the bunch, he goes, he winds up getting cut off from the group, and he starts wandering around, and he runs into this Asian woman, and she's like, "You want to die here? You need to come with me. I know where your friends are." So I'm not trying to do an accent. I promise.
Well, no, if it's accurate, I mean, if that's what that character sounded like, then you're just recreating that sound.
Yes, that's exactly what she sounded like, and so he follows her and everything like that, and a spider jumps on his face and like backs him into this web, and she's like, now the time has come. And she starts like the transformation and stuff like that, and he's attacked. Now you can't see me, everybody, but you can only hear my voice. It would look much more funnier, and you'll see it theoretically someday. But he's attached to the web, and he's like, ah! And yeah, so he's like, and like his face, he's like, ah, like that, and yeah, and she's just like, now the time has come. And she just keeps like changing into like this big gigantic spider thing, and yeah, that's all I'm going to give away of that part of it. But that is definitely one of the more funnier scenes of the movie. I mean, it's obviously it's meant to be a hardcore horror movie, obviously, but it does have its more funnier moments, which is I mean, I guess someone out there's probably saying, well, giant spider killing somebody, that's not funny, but yeah, trust me, it really is funny.
I'm just trying to remember the word. I think it's epiginum.
What's epiginum?
It was one of the words that we had for our for what do these mean words mean. And I think it might have been I feel like it could have been, no, I don't think it would have been Ethan. I think it might have been Sean. It might have been Sean Pratton that we got that word with, but it's a spider's vagina. Yes. Yeah.
Well, it very much looked like a spider's vagina that stuck out of the spider's mouth, with teeth and stuff like that. But you know what's funny? Apparently, this Ouija board that I just said that was attached to the dead guy. Apparently, this Ouija board has a lot to do with this movie. And one of the group's women turns into like a monster thing because the evil sorcerer took her over and stuff like that. So they try. In fact, the comic relief guy, the one that dies. Obviously, whatever, because it's a horror movie. It's really no spoilers. It's not going to hurt anything. But, he goes to grab the board, and this whatever she is now, she's like, "You want my board? Well, the board wants you."
Okay. Spookies.
Yeah, Spookies. It kind of reminded me, that particular scene kind of reminded me of The Big Bang Theory when Sheldon and Leonard were arguing about 2 degrees on the thermostat, and Sheldon's like, "Well, you agreed to this in the roommate agreement," and Leonard's like, "Oh, screw the roommate agreement," and Sheldon's like, "No, you don't screw the roommate agreement. The roommate agreement screws you."
Big Bang Theory. That's what you're saying. Yeah, I don't think I've seen a single episode of The Big Bang Theory, and it's not.
Oh my god!
And I'm
dude.
pretty sure I would like it.
You would absolutely love it. I've seen every single episode, all 12 seasons, at least 100 times over.
So Spookies.
Yes.
I'm going over some of the names associated with this because I was looking to see if it was on Amazon. It's not. I mean, it's subscribe and watch, which isn't the same thing.
I guess I must have that particular channel on Amazon. I don't know.
Yeah, no, yeah, you must. But I mean, I certainly, if it was included in Prime, then I would, give it a look.
It is free. It is free on YouTube.
Is it?
Yes.
All right. Well, as of now,
yeah.
so let's see. Let me go ahead.
I can send it to you. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
I can send it to you right now. Let me just pull it up real quick.
Thank you.
It's clean. It's crisp. It's Because, when you watch free movies on Amazon, it's like a hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
It could either be a great experience or a really bad experience. Let's see. I gotta find it.
I'm just trying to figure out what spider's vagina rhymes with. As the word spider and vagina each have I in them, it's like kind of like it's got a great rhythm to it.
Mm-hmm.
Ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, spider's vagina. Ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da.
Let's see if this is it. Yes, this is it right here. Hold on. Perfect. It's clear. So let's copy the link and drop it in a text. So we're dropping it in a text. Paste and send. Perfect.
I got a bad one.
What's that?
Nothing could be finer than to see spider's vagina in Spookies.
Yes.
I don't even know if I got the melody right on that because I've only ever heard that part of that song in a cartoon and not for a long time. So, but it's
it works.
Yeah. Thanks. Except I had to cheat a little bit and turn it into spider vagina.
It definitely reminded me of. It reminded me of a spider's vagina with teeth, and it reminded me of the thing that comes out of the xenomorph's mouth, like the tongue mouth.
Yeah.
It just, yep, that's what it reminded me of. And
nobody could see that, but I was making I was doing the strike thing with my hand. For some reason, it actually almost sounds cuddly the way I'm doing that, but. Very much not.
So yeah, this movie has. I mean, it doesn't have vampires or werewolves, but it pretty much has a little bit of. It's got mudmen in the basement.
Ooh, mudmen.
Yeah, but it sounds like they're farting when they're walking.
Makes sense.
So yeah. So, but like I said, it's got a little bit of and some kind of weird like shapeshifter thingy. Yeah, but it has a little bit of everything, and all in this mansion. And this mansion's actually a real place. It's called the. I'm going to tell you where it's at, but it's called the Rye Mansion in Rye, New York. So it very much is a real place, and I'm pretty sure people live there. So don't go knocking on their door because you want to see Spookies, everybody.
What Hunter said? Don't do that.
Right.
Don't be dopey.
Hunter will also not probably be visiting any abandoned old mansions during the Halloween episode because, again, I want to live and I don't want to get incarcerated because, if the cops show up, what am I going to say? Like, oh yeah, I'm doing a Halloween episode for Antisocial Show. We're looking for ghosts or something like that. And they're like, all right, let's go, Mr. Block. It's time to go bye-byes now. And, so, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are the police, and we're cutting your show short for tonight. Hunter will be in a slammer.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe all you guys want to, put bail money together because he's very much going away right now for trespassing. Yeah, we don't want to do anything like that, so.
Yeah. I think the police did say it best when they said De do 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 de da 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 is all I want to say to you.
Yes.
I think I said that right.
Where is it from?
Hey Google, what are the lyrics to de do 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 de da da da?
Here's some details.
No, that's do 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 or do 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 do. I haven't heard the song by Blackpink, which I will listen to another time. I will continue to look for. I have to respell it now. To D do nope, not fe. D. I'm hitting the D. I swear, not the F. It's fascinating for people. Do. Vincent Price, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm hitting the D.
It's de do 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 de da 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 is all I want to say to you. De do 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 de da da da. The innocence will pull me through. De do 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 de da 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 is all I want to say to you. De do 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 de da da da. They're meaningless and all that's true. That's the Police. It's a classic song.
That is a classic song.
So
yeah, but
wait, I'm sorry. I don't know why I didn't include this in the thing we were just talking about. Yeah.
Sure.
No.
I'd love to sing a song for you.
No, that's good. I'm happy. I didn't want you to sing a song for me, but I appreciate it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Hey Google, what are the lyrics to De Do 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 by the Police?
Here are some details.
Okay. The lyrics real quick. This is the first thing before it gets into De Do 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 Da Da. Don't think me unkind. Words are hard to find. They're only checks I've left unsigned. From the banks of chaos in my mind. And when their eloquence escapes me, their logic ties me up and rapes me. De do 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 de da 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 is all I want to say to you. And then et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, that is repeated, that last line there. That is a very robust image. When their eloquence escapes me, their logic ties me up and rapes me. That is crimson.
How many do-dee-dee-do-do-das are actually in the song?
How many do-do-do-do-dee-da-da-das? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8. Because they're part of the chorus. Is it not a song you've heard very, very much, or
I heard that song like a while back.
That's like vaguely kind of there. Yeah. It's been a while since I've heard something.
I'm familiar with the Police, obviously, because and no, not the long arm of the law, but the actual band.
Sure. Long arm of the law.
I'm familiar with the Police. No, I'm not familiar with the Police, but the Police band itself, yes.
The band Police.
Yes.
Not the police band, not the radio band that has the police on it.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Have you ever seen a movie called Communion?
Yes.
I just recently watched it, probably for the second time. I have the book actually here in the studio, but I was watching it on Prime, and I know it's supposedly based on a true story. And Christopher Walken played it really well, but where it got me was the fact where he's talking to the psychiatrist, and he's like, I'm just trying to figure out why a bunch of and he starts laughing, why a bunch of blue midgets came in my house and kidnapped me, and
and it's Christopher Walken.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I wish I could do a Christopher Walken impression because he's got some great. I do remember the one thing where he's like, something is happening. It's before the violation. And he's like, he says, I think it's, I don't believe that.
Yes.
Something like that. I think that's the word. I don't believe that. I don't know how many times he says it, but or I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Don't believe that. Yeah. It's been so long since I've seen it, I've only actually ever heard anybody do an impression of that, so I don't even know if the inflection is correct.
Christopher Walken is a great actor.
Yeah.
That's probably the only reason why I watched it, because like I said, I have the book. I I think I started to read it, and then I put it down for some reason, and then I think when I go to pick a book back up again, I think that's what it's going to be. I'm going to give it a chance.
Yeah, I read some of it. I've definitely seen the movie. It has. I used to know this man's name well. I think it's Elias Koteas. No, it's not. It's not the same guy. Hey Google, who played Jakar in Babylon 5?
Jakar.
By Andreas Katsoulis.
Andreas Katsoulis. He is in Communion, the movie.
Yes, he plays the Russian friend or wherever he's from.
Yes.
Yes, I see lights. Take me home now.
Yeah. He was also in. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was just my poor imitation of the Russian man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to trample on that. No,
you're fine.
He was also in the Harrison Ford The Fugitive.
Yes.
Really good film. Saw that in the theater.
That was a good film.
Solid piece of filmmaking.
Isn't Tommy Lee Jones in that movie?
He is. That is the role that he won Best Supporting Actor for, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good year for film. They did a parody film of it with Leslie Nielsen in the Harrison Ford role, and in Richard Crenna in the Tommy Lee Jones role, and I only saw part of it. It was called Wrongfully Accused. Yeah. So I don't remember it very well. I think I might have it on video somewhere. It's hard to say. I feel like I should watch it now because so much time has gone by. I feel like I should have seen this movie by now because I tended to like parody movies when I was younger.
Well, I mean, they could be really funny. I mean, there was plenty of parody movies. There's one even for am I drunk? Psycho.
Oh, sure. Like only Psycho or like with other stuff? Because I've seen Psycho parodied in films before.
No, this was just basically, well, it was Psycho and Silence of the Lambs in this case, and Dom DeLuise plays the part of Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, Silence of the Hams.
Yeah. Was that Silence of the Hams? Yes.
Yeah, I saw part of that.
Yes.
It was, he put like cotton in his mouth or something.
Yeah, to make him sound like...
It's more like Marlon Brando. He's like,
yes.
Don Corleone. My son Michael. Yeah, it's good. Classic role, Brando. Anyway,
I do you this favor now, but one day I may call upon you to do a favor.
I just remembered why I thought that's actually the thing I was doing was actually Dom DeLuise did that in a movie called, oh no, it's a mob parody movie with Kevin McDonald from Kids in the Hall. And I think it's The Godson. I believe it's The Godson. It also has a bunch of people in it. Dom Herrera's in it. Lou Ferrigno. There's a character actor who's in a lot of things, and I can't really. Oh, Rodney Dangerfield is in it.
Nice.
There are some funny moments in it. It is. There's a time when I would have said it is not good, but it's worth watching. It is worth seeing, and I don't know that it's bad. I think there's a lot of good things in it. I think there's a couple of things. There's at least one sight gag that I can't, it's a podcast. I don't know how to illustrate what happens, but it's like, there's a scene in a hot tub where, they're having a meeting. It's Kevin McDonald is like taking over the family business, and so he's taking a meeting, and he's in a hot tub. He's in a full suit in a hot tub. Like, that's not it's a funny visual joke, and then like, one of the guys gets out of the hot tub, or at least there's two of them, and the other one gets out, and Kevin McDonald kind of hangs behind for a bit because he's still carrying on the scene or whatever, and then he starts to like break loose, like he starts to kind of like and slowly circle in the bath as if he's got caught in the whirlpool because he's very slow, right. But just very slowly, and then he starts going, oops, I'm caught in the whirlpool here, and it just kind of like mild level panicking, and it's a really funny visual. It's probably one of the funniest things I've Like, I like physical humor if it's done well, and that was a good gag. So, you know, I'll give it up for that. Lou Ferrigno was great, you know. Anyway.
He's great in a lot of stuff. He I mean, aside, you know, he's not playing the Hulk, obviously, but he was I think the only one to do a physical. Yeah, he was the only one to play the Hulk. And you know, not obviously like CGI or whatever it is, but he's the only one that actually, you know, they put the green makeup on him and stuff like that. And he was the Hulk. I liked him in this. There's a movie called I Love You, Man. And it's has what's that dude? His last name is Judd. First name.
Rudd? Paul Rudd?
Paul Rudd. That's it. Yeah.
Ant-Man.
No, not Ant-Man.
Paul.
Well, he was he was Ant-Man.
No, I know what you're talking about. I Love You, Man.
Yes, I Love You, Man. Yes.
Guy from Ant-Man is in I Love You, Man.
Yes.
I Love You, Man is a different superhero than Ant-Man.
Yes. So he's Paul Rudd's getting married, and he has no male friends. So he has to fix the problem before he gets married. So he goes on mandates, and he wound up started hanging out with this one guy, and at the same time, Paul Rudd in the movie is a realtor, and he's trying to sell Lou Ferrigno's house. Lou Ferrigno is playing himself, and Paul Rudd's just not getting it done. So he's walking on the bay walk or the pier, whatever it is, with his new friend, and he sees Lou Ferrigno talking to another realtor, and he's like, "Aren't you selling Lou's house?" And this is my crappy paraphrasing, but he goes over to the guy and goes, "Come on, Hulk, you know, my friend's selling your house. You're messing up, Hulk," and something like that. And he's like, "Stop calling me the Hulk." And he's like, "Come on, Hulk." So Lou Ferrigno gets up and puts him in a sleeper. Like, "You go to sleep now."
Sounds like a funny visual.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
But it's on Prime. I think I Love You, Man's on Prime. It's actually pretty friggin' hysterical.
Yeah, it's a really funny visual seeing Lou Ferrigno choke out the actor that Andy Dick was playing in the movie And God Spoke, or the making of And God Spoke.
Yes, I saw that.
It's visual at a distance, and it's a really funny visual.
When you told me, we had made plans to bring Andy Dick on the show for the sort of 100 or the fake 100, because technically it is 100. I started watching YouTube videos, and that's what I saw in the YouTube video was Lou Ferrigno and Andy Dick, and it was hysterical. It's
a pretty funny movie in general, but that role, the character that he's playing, was like Richard Andrews or something, or Dickie Andrews. I don't know. It was some variation on his name. I actually said it correctly when we interviewed him for that episode, but I can't remember it now. And, they're like, he's like all geared up to fight with Lou Ferrigno because he thinks he's going to kill him. Because apparently he doesn't understand the story of Cain and Abel.
Right.
One of the oldest stories in the world, you know.
Right, where Cain actually killed Abel.
Cain killed Abel, yeah.
Alerts.
Yeah, and spoiler for the Bible, and, you know, or any biblical picture. And Andy's character doesn't get that he's the one that's supposed to die. So he's going up against Lou Ferrigno, and he's thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna look great or whatever it is. And then there's a moment there where they tell him, no, you're the one that dies. And he has this like weird kind of like moment of realization. And that was pretty, it was a great, you know, it was a really great contribution to that film, which was a fantastic mockumentary. I think it's, you know, one of the best. I like it.
Oh, it was
probably as much, and believe me, I haven't seen it as many times as Spinal Tap, but I like it at least as much as Spinal Tap. It's not about music.
The movie itself was monumentally funny. Just like Andy Dick was funny on the night we had him on the show, and talking about the Tiger King Tiger Dick, whatever it was, and how he hired somebody on the spot to be like his social media representation.
Something, yeah, I wasn't sure about all the details there. It was a little fuzzy. Yeah, for those of you who have listened to this, or if you were going to go back, can you tell us what you think was going on during that? You know, either tweet at us or And then hashtag Tiger Dick.
Hashtag Tiger Dick, yes.
And then what you think, not specifically what was happening in Tiger Dick, but what was the deal with his social media person? Because that would be, because I don't remember, and I'm curious to hear what people who've actually listened to the episode, how they interpreted as what was going on. Just purely as a social experiment.
So essentially, I think what he did was he just hired somebody off the street and told him to call you, and obviously this person did, and then of course we got, now keep in mind, Andy Dick is obviously a comedian and everything else, and let's not forget that he agreed to come on the show, and Tyson was the one talking to him, prior to doing the episode, but he had, the point though is he agreed to come on the episode, so Tyson had texted me, I think, like a week prior to that. He's like, hey, we're going to have Andy Dick on the show. How do you feel about that? I'm like, yeah, let's have him on the show. But during the episode, Andy Dick kept pointing to this individual and saying, you see this guy right here? You see this kid? This kid made it happen. This kid's beautiful. And we're like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. Something like that. Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, something to that effect.
So to be clear, hashtag Tiger Dick, Hunter's theory is that he's somebody he hired off the street. Yes,
very much so. And he was at a party too, so that made it even more interesting. But I think when it came to that person, either he hired him off the street or he met him at the party. So either way, it's still funny.
Yeah. No, it was a fun time. It was, I'm gonna say it was chaotic, but not necessarily in a bad way. It was fun. It was like
yes.
It was kind of like being, I guess, it was like being a window, being on the other side of a window and looking in.
Party.
Yeah. With one guy closest to that window, like going, oh, hey, now there's something happening over here. And hey, and then turning to us every now and then and talking to us. It was fascinating, really.
It was definitely fascinating.
Yeah.
What was funny about that whole thing was how he kept making, how he's sitting there just ripping off Tiger King. Talking about, well, I mean, obviously, I don't think Tiger Dick's going to be a real thing, but it was definitely funny.
Oh no, it was definitely supposed to be a real thing. There's media that's already been made. Yeah, there might even be trailers. Yeah, if you go into his, I mean, I don't know that it's come out or been finished, but if you go to like his Instagram or if you go to Twitter, and then I think hashtag Tiger Dick might actually being used for Tiger Dick specifically, but you could probably put in just the words Tiger and Dick next to each other with caps in quotes, and then
Tiger and Dick,
and then you'll see the there should be a preview that's been put together already with little clips of what I'm imagining the finished product is going to be, unless none of those clips end up in the finished product. I don't know where it's at right now. I do know that it was something. That's why I brought it up. Right. Yeah. I mean, even if it was only ever meant to be a trailer, I mean, it probably was meant to be a longer thing. I mean, you remember Machete started as a trailer. Did you ever see Machete with Danny Trejo?
I've heard of it.
Okay.
Never saw it.
I think you'd like Machete. Did you see Grindhouse, with the Planet Terror and I think it's Planet Terror and Death Proof, the Robert Rodriguez Quentin Tarantino thing?
Yep.
You saw both bits of that?
I own them both.
And you saw the trailers that came, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's actually, I think there was a problem with one of the releases. They're having trouble getting the trailers released, even though they were part of the experience. But yeah, so there's a trailer on there for Machete, and that became a film. Actually, I think there might be 3 movies. There's definitely 2. So there's Machete, and then I think Machete Kills might be the second one. So I've only seen the first one, and yeah, it is entertaining, but it's ridiculous. I mean,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's like, Robert Rodriguez makes entertaining movies that have great, energy to them. And,
he does.
Like, El Mariachi and Desperado. And, I didn't see Once Upon a Time in Mexico. I have to soon. From Dusk Till Dawn, which was a Quentin Tarantino script. Yeah, that was
phenomenal.
It was a good time. A lot of great people in that movie. A lot of
Harvey Keitel.
Yeah.
Why am I drawing a blank on his name now? George Clooney.
Clooney. Yeah.
Tom Savini.
Mm-hmm. Tom Savini. Oh yeah.
Yep. And of course,
Was it Jim Brown? No, it was Fred Ward. No, Jim Brown.
Quentin Tarantino himself.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino was in it. Juliette Lewis was in it.
Yes, Juliette Lewis. Yes.
The first appearance of Michael Parks as Earl McGraw.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And of course, Selma Hayek.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, Selma Hayek, who was also in Desperado.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. The Robert Rodriguez movie. So I like the stuff of his that I have seen, and I certainly haven't seen it all. But he also did a segment. There was a four little movie, like a mini anthology called 4 Rooms.
Okay.
Don't know if you remember it at all. It had 4 directors, and I can only remember 2 of them. I think. Well, it's been a while since I've seen their names, so I know Quentin Tarantino did a segment. Robert Rodriguez did a segment. I think it's not Amy Adams. There's a name. She directed, I think it's the lady who directed Gas Food Lodging. I think. And then somebody else, and I cannot remember for the life of me. Anyway, they each did a segment of this, and there was Tim Roth's character as a bellhop that kind of ties the stories together. And I saw most of that movie, and it was I could tell whose contribution was whose, and I thought they were all great segments. So wasn't saying
I'll have to watch that.
It's entertaining. One moment. Hey, Google, who were the directors of 4 Rooms?
See if it's on.
4 Rooms had 4 directors: Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, Alexandra Rockwell, and Alison Anders.
Alison Anders is the one whose name I knew but couldn't remember. I feel bad. So Alexandra Rockwell. Okay, I don't know. I don't know that I know his work. I
gotcha. Don't miss the fun in this hilariously sexy comedy that has Antonio Banderas, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, Madonna, Swept Away, and sizzling all-star cast.
Yeah,
nice.
it is a bursting to the seams with famous faces. Okay, that's you. All right, you sent me a link. Thank you. Anyway.
You're welcome. Oh, it came out in 1995. Okay.
Yeah, it was right after, it was in the early 90s, and right after, was it after Pulp Fiction? I think it might have been after Pulp Fiction. It was 1995, so yeah, Pulp Fiction, didn't that come out in 94, I think?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got the answer for this. Pulp Fiction. 1994. Yep.
Okay, so Pulp Fiction was big. That was Quentin Tarantino's second film. Now, okay, so this is interesting, and I mean, to me, it's interesting because, so I think The Hateful Eight was also Quentin Tarantino's 8th movie because he sees Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 as one film, right?
Yes.
So I bring this up because, so keep that in mind. Hateful Eight, 8th movie by Quentin Tarantino. Okay, so the director Federico Fellini, he has a film that called 8.5.
Okay.
And the reason why it's called 8.5, it is actually his 8th movie, but he contributed a film to an anthology film, which he provided one segment, and I think it actually had 3 bits to it. So so it's his 8th movie, and it's about him, and makes it a very meta title. So my point is it's called 8.5, and so, I was kind of surprised that Tarantino didn't go that way as well, and, call it the, Hateful 8.5 to keep with his kind of pastiche sort of aesthetic, this referential aesthetic that he has cultivated throughout the years.
He's definitely a good writer, director.
Yeah, he's very unique, and he does something. If you like what he does, nobody does it better than him.
He's very colorful too, with the words. Of course, as we discussed in the past, you might have.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, like we discussed in the past with Hateful Eight. First of all, Hateful Eight was a great movie. With a very strong cast. It had Kurt Russell. It had
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson. So it had a great cast, but he was a little bit too liberal with the N word, I thought.
A little bit. Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yes.
Bruce Dern. Walton Goggins. Michael Park's son, whose name escapes me at the moment. Feel bad for that, but names do escape me eventually. Michael Madsen and Tim Roth.
Yes.
And Channing Tatum, briefly.
Also too.
And some characters I can't name.
Who's the lady that was in custody? What was her real name in real life again?
Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yes, she played in Single White Female as the crazy roommate.
Oh yeah, opposite Bridget Fonda.
Yes,
who is in Jackie Brown, another Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yes.
So he's had both of the single white females in his movies now. He's collected them, essentially.
He's collected them, yes.
Yeah, you know what's bizarre is that of things having to do with that, because so in Guardians of the Galaxy, the second movie,
great film, by the way,
has both Tango and Cash in it. But they're never in a scene together.
That is right. that is right.
So, yeah, bizarre, huh?
That is bizarre, but you know what? It's a cool factoid about Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2, because that was a great friggin' film.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah.
It definitely was. Kurt Russell was, the god, or little god or under god, whatever you want to call him, some kind of god.
Ego,
yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, if anyone has not seen it yet, definitely see it, because it is a great film. Now, for our little anti-socialites in Columbus, Ohio, I'm throwing you guys a shout out again, and
yes.
Of course, please let us know who you are. And as a reminder, I mentioned it. By the time you hear this episode, you should have already heard the last episode, which we did last week. We are inviting a listener onto the show for the Halloween episode. So maybe it would be a listener from Columbus, Ohio. It's always possible. Unless they're completely antisocial and introverted, and then that wouldn't work at all. Now, I know that you've been, or at least you said earlier tonight, that you've been diving into the John Wick movies.
Oh, I've been re-experiencing them. Yeah, they're free on Peacock right now, so I've been watching them. This has been a while, and we already own them. We have them on Blu-ray, but I can watch them free, on my phone with a nice pair of headphones in bed, and not bother my wife or whatever. So I can watch John Wick, and it's a nice screen.
Absolutely. That's.
Let me see if I can. Go ahead.
Excuse me. I have a 50-inch television in the bedroom, but yet I watch. I tend to watch all my movies in bed on my phone, so I don't disturb the wife too much. Because that would not be good.
Yeah, you don't want to disturb the wife.
No.
I want to see if I can. Here's an image. I don't know if this will translate.
Oh yes. I see it.
Yeah, it's kind of it's blurring.
A little bit blurry, but I can still make it out.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, who's the blonde lady?
Oh, that's actually, I think she's a redhead. That's Ruby something. I want to say Ruby Red, but I don't think it is Ruby Red. I think it's like Ruby D or. Hey Google, what's the last name of the actress Ruby in John Wick 2?
Ruby Rose's full name is Ruby Rose Langenheim.
Ruby Rose. Right, see, there we go. So it is close to Ruby Red, but it's not Ruby Red. It's Ruby Rose Langenheim. She was Batwoman for a hot minute over on the CW.
Gotcha. Oh, that's right, she was.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with all that, because I don't watch the. Oh wait, is it CW or is it the DC app? I don't know. I honestly don't know.
It's no, it's not the DC app. It's hold on, I got it right here actually. Let me find my apps. Entertainment. Why is it not on there? Should be, because I have it. I know I do, because I was watching it the other day.
Anyway, they're terrific movies. They are so good, and they just like they get better, like as they unfold, as the world gets larger. They've been made. As the first one came out in 2014, the second one I think came out in 2017, and they took less time between the second and the third one. As the third one came out in 20.
It's the CW app.
19. CW app. That's where Batwoman is.
Yes.
Okay, and I wonder if it's still there. Anyway, so yeah, I think she's a mixed martial artist. I'm not sure. She's definitely capable of pulling off the hand-to-hand combat that is in the film. And there's a lot of it. I mean, there's a lot of hand-to-hand combat in the movie, and also just intense, quick, well-choreographed gunplay that's beautifully lit with fantastic color palette on the film. I mean, these movies are so beautifully shot. They look fan-effing-tastic. And
I definitely am going to download the, what is it, the Peacock?
Sure, Peacock app. You can also, if you have a existing, so I think if you do it on your phone, you would log in to the app, and then you could do it on your computer, and then I think use your same password to continue that, and then it knows, like I use Google Chrome. I don't know what your main operating thingy is, like what your one that is unified. Is it all, are you Google Chrome as well?
iPhone.
Well, I mean, as far as like, where you do your email and all that.
Safari.
Safari. Isn't Safari Apple?
Yes.
Well, I don't mean like where you open a browser to check your email. I mean like.
You're talking about like an app store?
Yeah, well, your Gmail, you have a Gmail account, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you probably do stuff in the Android store then.
App store.
Yeah, the Android app store.
No, not on Apple.
Not on Apple, no, but I mean like you could. If you had, you can, if you have a Gmail account, I believe you have access to the Android store. And if you had an Android device, you would be able to run, stuff on it. So or if you had what's the computer, you have an all-in-one, right? The screen is
yes.
Oh, cool. Those are nice. I'm trying to remember. So what operating system is it? Windows 10?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a, HP Pavilion. But it does have Windows 10.
I think you can still do Android stuff with it.
You can, because so this computer that I use has the Android operating system, like most non-Apple computers nowadays do.
Mm-hmm.
So this has the obviously the Apple operating system on it, and of course the computer has the Android. So I can very much go onto the Android store and download Peacock, and I'm going to, because I definitely want to watch John Wick.
It's worth it.
I haven't joined the team yet, but I'm going to.
Watch it with headphones. I don't know how often you have to watch movies with headphones or get to watch movies with headphones, but it's definitely unless you're going to watch it with somebody.
True. And then I wouldn't need headphones, but no, if I'm going to be watching it by my lonesome, I will don the headphones.
It's quite good. Definitely worth it.
But the pain in the ass thing about with the iPhone, it used to come with a headphone jack.
Okay.
The thing about the new iPhones is that it no longer comes with a headphone jack.
Yeah, it's all Bluetooth now or something, right?
Yeah, but to do it, so you got this thing. It has a it looks like a lightning charger, as they're called now, right? So hold on. So you plug that at the bottom of your phone where you plug in your lightning cord, and then it has a part where you plug in your actual headphones to that.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah,
that is. So why they did it that way is beyond me, but that's what they decided to do. They also took away. So what they did was Apple kind of changed in a big bad way. They got rid of their now. The one and only thing that I used to love about Android phones, because I had them, was the fact that you had the ability to remove all the apps from your home screen, and you just had, if I'll show you. So this is my home screen. I'm back to my home screen. So as it stands right now, this is my home screen. And as you can see, other than what I have on the bottom, I have absolutely no apps on the screen. I just have that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on the Android phone, they were called widgets.
Oh, yeah.
So what Apple did was when they did this latest update, and it was a massive update, they basically turned all of their apps into widgets so that you can remove them from the home screen, which was, it was about damn time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you're able to uninstall certain things. And
No, not uninstall them, just move them to the next screen.
Oh, just
so
move
I have
them.
about 3 or 4 screens going on here.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
So it's swipe over. Now, the other cool thing is the fact that if you're watching, let's say Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to look something up real quick, you want to check a piece of email while still watching your movie, you can actually now minimize the screen and put it up in the corner, and you can still watch your movie and do something else. The new update for the iPhone has been phenomenal.
Cool.
But the only thing that at this point in time, because I don't really care, the only thing you still can't do is you can't just pick a ringtone, let's say off of an app store, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can't download it, and you can't assign it to a contact. You still have to very much go, you got to take the ringtone, send it to your iTunes on your computer just to put it back on your phone. It's the dumbest thing on the friggin' planet. But yeah, it's dumb. So, and the last time I attempted to do that, so I had my phone plugged into my computer, which very same computer right here, and I was trying to do just that. I decided I was going to do a couple of ringtones, whatever the case may have you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have iTunes on my computer as well, and it was good enough to tell me that there was an update for the iTunes, and would you like to update it? Now, keep in mind, I'm like, yeah, so because I'm also doing something else on the computer as well. So I'm taking care of whatever else it was I was taking care of at the time. Then I was going to do the ringtones, and I was still waiting for Apple iTunes to update on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked down, and there's a picture of a lightning charger on my phone, right? So I'm like, that's weird. I've never seen that before. So I went to go turn my phone. It was still, mind you, it was plugged into the computer. So I went to go turn my, look at my phone and to determine why there was a picture of a lightning charger on the screen, right? And somehow, and don't ask me how this happened, it literally wiped my entire phone out.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I had no phone whatsoever. It wiped it out. Like, you couldn't turn it on. You couldn't do anything. Nothing. So I literally had to become a genius, like at the Genius Bar, as they call it, and I had to restore everything from iTunes back onto my phone, and somehow I did it. I was able to restore my own phone.
Well done.
Thank you. I've never done anything like that before, but yeah.
It feels good.
It does, actually.
Yeah. Well, that's about all the time we have for our Antisocial Show. I'm Tyson Sainer.
And I'm Hunter Block.
Be decent to each other.
Absolutely. Peace.
Have a good time, folks.